Number 9, Jess Nielsen. Number 10, Alex.
So welcome to London St. George's Rugby Club, where we're about to have a great game here between Canada's U20 Women and the visiting USA Rugby squad, the Eagles. And what a fantastic place here out in the London area. First time I've been to London St. George's Rugby Club in all my years being in Ontario. Never made the trip out. Taking a quick look at the lineups, the visiting USA side. In the front row, it's Maya Learned, Etta Melu, and Abby Vogel. In the second row, Katie Mueller and Melissa Hargadine. In the back row, Frida Feitu, Gianna Cruz, and Kyla Chipman. And looking through the back line, Brianna Kim is the scrum half, partnering with Gabriella Cantorna, the fly half. In the centers, it's Mackenzie Hawkins and Mata Hingano. Caitlin Whiteside is wearing the winger spot at number 14. Danny Ordway is number 11. And Lily Durbin is the fullback. And then if we look at the replacements there, stay on the, if we could go to the first screen there, Matt Cross. We'll go through the Canadian lineups there. So in the front row, Tiffany Pickett's Emily Totosi and Delika Menon. Dorian Curry and Alexandra Ellis in the second row. In the back row, Sasha Elliott and Sarah Svoboda with Maddie McKenzie at number 8. Jess Nielsen is the scrum half. Alex Tessier fly half. Natalie Lesko and Fabiola Fortiza in the centers with Danielle Spice and Deanna Foster on the wings. Brianne Nicholas is the fullback. And if we move to the replacement screen there, Matt, for the U.S., it's going to be Hope Wasserman. So we've had a change at number 16, Lizzie Groff, Anziv Nalbandadian, Nikki Richardson, Hedvig Carlson, Ashley Rolsma, Ashley Burge, Adriana Zeters, and looking at Canada's replacements, Colleen Irawa, Corinne Riley, Camille Provencal-Obe, Lauren Agnew, Katie Svoboda, Stephanie Black, Carolyn Crossley, and Emma Jada. So the team's coming out onto the field now, if we clear that screen, and we'll have U.S. and Canada coming out. We'll be doing the anthems, of course. You got to follow all the great protocols of international rugby here. Quite a great crowd building up here at London St. George's Rugby Club. And we'll have Connor McGee chipping in with some comments here and there as we go along, and just get the game underway first before we hear from him. Hopefully he understands that. Matt Cross in the director's chair again. He's learned a lot this summer, and great to have him there. And Mrs. Cross on the camera. We made it a family affair out here in London, even though she was sick. So the Canadian team. Women's rugby's on such an upswing right now after the Canadian women making it to the World Cup final on Sunday against France, losing 21-9. But, of course, Magali Harvey winning the hearts and minds of Canadians and people around the world, becoming the IRB Player of the Year for women. What a great... good to hear. We have someone watching the stream in Vancouver. Everything's working. That's rare. So we'll have the anthems.
Remove your hats for the playing of the American and Canadian national anthems.
Zoom in on the referees for a second. And Maddie, if you can bring up that referee screen. Karen Lozada is our head referee, Amy Murray, assistant referee, and Nathan Abdelnauer as we go to the Canadian anthem. And a stirring rendition of both the national anthems as we get ready to get underway on a beautiful, warm summer evening. Some thunderclouds definitely off in the distance, so be keeping a close eye on that in terms of safety and lightning protocols and things like that. We're hoping that's all going to dodge us here today, but you just never know. It is late August in southern Ontario, and certainly things can touch off. So Connor McGee, great to have you back, and you're visiting some relatives in the area and having a couple of days dealing with the under-20s here.
Yeah, it's a really exciting event. I mean, if you look at former players on our U20 team, especially from last year, Emily Belchos, among others, are on the World Cup team that just came second in the world. So this is a good identification and development opportunity for a lot of these players, and I'll be excited to see them rise through the program over the coming years.
So Canada's going to be playing from right to left on your screen, wearing red, and USA in their trademark blue, playing from left to right. And it's going to be 2 40-minute halves, all sort of big kid rugby here. We're playing 2 full tests, one here tonight in London, and then the next one starting on Saturday at Norm Perry Park, and it's a total point series. Those can always be interesting because you could win a game 6-0, but then lose the next game 7-0, and it's all over. So we're getting underway here with Alex Tessier drop kicking the ball to get started for this game. Drop ball, but it went back. Advantage being played. No, we'll have the scrum over there, I think. So that's always tough when you got to start the game with a scrum, you know, drop ball. Everyone's a little nervous, feeling things out here. And the thunder clouds are definitely off to our left, and thunder is coming. It's the lightning I'm worried about. Not going to have thunder all day long. It's lightning that comes with it. There's the ball coming out nice and clean. Decoy runner from the inside center was Natalie Lesko. Fabiola Fortiz has got it now outside to the wing. Bit of a reach pass for Deanna Forster, but she's wound her way down to 5 meters from the line. Good first up attack from Canada here, knocking on the door. Trying to get to the left was Jess Nielsen, but she decides to go back right to the prop, Dalika Menon. She's the captain for Canada. Now swinging it back left. They've got, wouldn't say numbers in big way there. Dorian Curry getting to the line, second row. U.S. absorbing that pressure early, but I think they're going to want to go right in a moment as number 1, Tiffany Pickett, is held up short of the line. Alexander Ellis now very close. They're going to spin that right, I think, and they've got some space out wide and overlap building up, and that's a good job by Tessier. And outside center Fortiza gets to the line. She's brought down, but they still had numbers to the right, but penalty, not releasing the tackled player, so they'll bring it back about 10 meters out. This early in the game, I think they fancy their chances at running at the line. They don't need a penalty. And that's across the line and held up. So they're going to bring that ball out, and it'll be scrum to Canada, 5 meters out. So, important scrum here for Canada. Knocking on the door. Nielsen taps, ready to go. Nice pass from the number 8. Bit of a bouncing ball, just not going Canada's way there. The pass not quite on target. It was a great job by the number 8, Maddie McKenzie, to feed that ball back to Nielsen. But then the wing on that side, Danielle Spice, just couldn't find the handle. The handle of the ball was maybe a bit too hot on the delivery there. So I'll tell you, folks, we'll be in a race against the light tonight here. We started at 6:30, and you know, by the time this game ends at 8 o'clock, I think we'll be bringing out the flashlights to break everything down. So good start from Canada here, but now the U.S. is going to try and get out from inside their own 22. They're going to do it the hard way, picking and driving, get some space, and then maybe give that ball a kick down the field. And now that's a penalty, not releasing the tackled player. Canada will retreat 10 meters. I think we've got this camera quite level here. I'm just going to... Okay. Now, counterattack by Canada here. That's nice work, right? Bundled into touches. Deanna Forster, the flag goes up. Amy Murray picking that up, and Forster went down awkwardly in a heap. So we had a chance to see a lot of these young ladies at the National Women's League. You saw them remotely in the Victoria office watching the stream, but a lot of great talent in that National Women's League, and now this is the benefit from this, is bringing them into a competition like this.
Yeah, so, I mean, names that I recognize just from watching the stream. Fabiola Forteza, she was just a try-scoring machine during NWL. She was everywhere, so be excited to see her really light this game up.
Let's play what's in front of us here. Sorry, Connor. Yeah. So, all right, we'll remember that one, kid. All right, a ball, loose pass now, midfield, picked up by the far wing, Daniel Spice. They go to ground. Lots of numbers there. Now counter ruck, but now a penalty coming from Karen Lozada. She picked up something there. First step into the tackle. I don't know if they were back 10, but we'll play it as if they were. And what's that one, Roden? Yeah, so it was not 10. So the U.S. players had engaged the Canadian ball carrier inside that 10-meter zone after the penalty, so that got them another penalty. And so now they're going to be in deep inside their own 22. About 6 minutes gone in this first half. Nice line out taken at the back there by Maddie McKenzie. They're having trouble getting it out cleanly. Staying Canadian side. Now, hands down the line. Good decoy running again there by the inside center. Lesko. They're at the 22-meter line. Oh, and big charging run by Delika Menon. More good work, the off wing coming in, Danielle Spice. Extra attacker, and that might overload the U.S. on that side. Ball's gone to ground. They'll not have much room to work up that blind side, so a chip through, interesting choice, but they're a few meters out, gathered in by the flanker, Sarah Svoboda, one of two Svoboda sisters on this team. Saw them playing for Ontario there a few weeks ago. Uncle Carl, former Canadian team hooker. And their dad, a great rugby player in the Belleville area and a sports editor of the Intelligencer newspaper out there. And now that's good work by Forteza. She's found attacking fullback Brianna Nicholas. U.S. equal to the task. They're making lots of tackles here. No free passes for Canada in the early going. And now a bit of a clearance kick. It's just getting some pressure relief, nothing more. And stepping back inside is Fortiza. As Connor McGee noted, she was the try-scoring record holder at the NWL. I think she had 6 or 7, something like that, but very potent try-scorer. Quick feet and able to shift quickly from left to right, and just good natural ball-carrying skills. So coming back for earlier offside penalty, and I think Canada's opted for the scrum on this one, so that's a heads-up play by the Canadian forwards. They're feeling comfortable against this U.S. pack. Keep them contained, and then, you know, maybe go for number 8 run up the blind side with the scrum half, Jess Nielsen. And now, even better, they got to take that from the spot correctly, though. Nielsen now looking for some space. She's threaded through a couple of tacklers. She's a meter out. Now picking and driving, running horizontally. There's going to be an opening. She's just at the line and denied. Tiffany Pickett's. She's done well with the ball so far early going, and now we have a penalty and time off. And Karen Lozada may have seen enough infractions, repeat infringements from the U.S., and we're going to have a yellow card here in the early going. That might be a tough start. Probably a conversation first. But when you're near the goal line, you know, you run the risk of giving away a penalty try. A bit of an odd situation where you guys will be hearing on the stream, you'll be hearing referees' comments, I believe, but we're unable to hear them with the setup that we've got. So you've got to jump on us online, folks. Now advantage being played for the U.S. What's Canada done? Oh, no, it's advantage for Canada. Sorry. Karen switched arms there. U.S. pouring over in numbers now. U.S. have stolen that ball, I think. Someone had to be playing with it on the ground, but now the clearance attempt by Cantorna. That's not going to find touch, and now awkward foot placement for the winger, Deanna Foster. And she's gone down awkwardly, and I think she's really hurt. She's maybe going to get back up here. Out of your picture, but they're going to be running back in towards her as Maddie McKenzie gets the offload to the front rower, Delika Menon. And she is really hurt. Foster is being treated right now as play continues. Kick over the top by Nielsen. Is that going to have a Canadian bounce? It is. Just off the fingertips maybe of a Canadian player. And now real scramble for the ball and penalty coming to Canada. The U.S. not releasing that ball. They had that ball and had to let go of it. Now tackle into touch, but the ball went loose. So I think we'll take the line out over there. And an overthrow there. Knock on. So it's going to be scrum. The ball went off a Canadian hand in the line out. Be scrum to the USA. We still have Foster getting treated. If we just pull back and have a look over there, Maria, and zoom in. I believe Amy Murray's going to come over and see what's what. And Foster's received miracle treatment there, and she can walk again. So that's good news. Those wingers are like thoroughbreds. You know, as soon as you got touched, Connor, were you down and out? First sign of trouble? Yeah. Now Foster seems to be leaving the game. Have they made a change? I think they have, yeah. So Foster is actually leaving the game. And we'll tell you who's come on. That's number 23 for Canada. Emma Jada on at that wing position on this side, this near sideline. Now the U.S. have come away with that on their own scrum. Made a few meters. That was a good run by number 8, Kyla Chipman, the captain of this U.S. squad. They had their camp in Buffalo, New York, and then came across the Peace Bridge into Ontario. No word on whether they hit the duty free or not. I think, you know, you should whenever you get a chance for perfume and other personal items. What are you thinking? My goodness. Just because you'd hit the liquor section, that's your deal. Certainly getting darker now. The clouds are moving closer, and so folks, you may all of a sudden see a scramble and cameras moving and things like that, and that'll be us just trying to keep our stuff dry. But more importantly, we got to keep these people safe too. Maybe just take a shot, a pan of the sky there, Maria. Show the weather coming in. So some dark skies there off to our left. It's nice evening off to our right. Too bad we weren't playing over that side. We'd be fine, but and back to live action as we have a nice run down the wing here. Let's zoom in before we miss something there. Sorry. Loose ball. U.S. have picked that up. Working hard from the back row, Kyla Chipman. Looking for a straight clearance kick down the field now. And that'll go just into touch. And so good relief kick by the U.S. there. And overthrow to the back of the U.S. line. They're gonna have that again, not straight. Oh no, closing the gap there. Oh, numbers didn't match up in the lineup. U.S. had too many girls in the line compared to the Canadian line out setup, and so they're gonna try straight hands down the line and bust through the cover D here. And that's a great job by the fullback, Brianna Nicholas, still on her feet. She finally goes to ground. Lots of support. Looks like the musical ride arriving in numbers there. Pickett's as she gotten across the line. And try given, and that is Tiffany Pickett's, number 1 for Canada. Don't slam. So I don't know if you're getting a chance to get that graphic up there at Matt in the truck there. There you go, Tiffany Pickett's with the try. So it makes it 5-0, and now Jess Nielsen's going to kick this one right on the 22-meter line. We'll cruise back for this kick there, Maria. Thank you, Matt. Good work there. So good sustained bit of pressure by the Canadians on the U.S. line. I mean, they had 2 or 3 trips down there. Then finally the pressure had to break through.
Yeah, I mean, Brianne Nicholas, huge breaks all game so far. I think Canada would be smart to keep using her as an offensive threat. And Jess Nielsen just puts that kick wide left. So 5-0 for the Canadian team after action resumes here. United States, I think, will be looking to maintain their own ball for a bit longer now with this restart. They've spent a lot of time in their own end, and
They haven't passed halfway.
I don't think they've passed halfway with the ball yet, or even through kicking, and certainly didn't spend much time in our half if they did. But Canada looking sharp. The backs, especially, I've been really impressed with. The flash running by Natalie Lesko is drawing in tons of American defenders every time she does it. Whistle here from Karen Lazada. Yeah, to get that scoreboard fixed.
So I don't want this broadcast to break into a remote viewing of the Weather Channel here, but it is. That's right over top of us here, and I'm wondering if there was some lightning. I think we're having a lightning break here. What's going on? Oh, we have an injured player down in goal that I guess referees weren't made aware of. U.S. player is down, and they're probably going to have to get the stretcher and get her off the field there. So going to take a couple of minutes. You can feel the temperature dropping severely right now, and I can't overstress that it could get interesting here in a couple of minutes. Roden, you spent a lot of time at bad weather situations. What are you thinking?
I think we're going to breathe on it in about 5 minutes.
Okay, so so Maria, if we start getting rain, what we're going to do is pull that camera under the awning and bag it, and then move the TV and stuff out of harm's way as well. So we do have a stretcher being brought on. Not sure. I don't know if the U.S. coach can tell us who's down in front of us. So it's Maya Learned, the prop for the USA, number 1. So all precautions being taken here, and crack medical team on site. So time stopped around 16, 17 minutes into this first half. The wind picking up here now, and boy, there's some real dark clouds in behind us sneaking around too. So we may have to break things down here pretty quick, folks, if we start getting some severe weather. Just apologizing in advance that you know, we'll be back with normal service, but Canada with a 5-0 lead off of the strength of a run from Tiffany Pickett's. And when that try was scored, maybe Maya Learned was in an awkward position and maybe got a leg injury or something. Usually when a stretcher's coming out, that's the indication. And now the stretcher coming across from the paramedics. So they're stable, just getting her onto a backboard. Not that she necessarily needs a backboard, but there's a delay. So now they're moving her off the field and the stretcher's coming across, and so a replacement will have been made, I think, for the U.S. And so that's what's going on there. Great to have all our visitors from the U.S. Watching our stream from across Canada. We'll be bringing you the game from Norm Perry Park on Saturday as well. That's a 7 o'clock Eastern kickoff, 10 in the West. Sorry, the other way around, 4 in the West. And so now we're getting ready to get underway, and we'll try and pick up what number came on for Learned. So first touch up from Natalie Lesko. So really first trip by the U.S. into Canadian half, and now here's an attack from the fullback, Lily Durbin. Canada just desperate to get at that ball, but it's staying U.S. side. Canada under 20s and U.S. under 20s played a couple of times last year at the Nations Cup in England. Canada winning both those. Drop ball now as the hooker for USA, Etta Melu, dropped that ball as she was going into contact. And now penalty offside, says Lozada. And gosh, we may be, that weather may be moving over top of us. We've got a good breeze moving along, so. And so that's a kick into touch by Canada, so it'll be their line out. Oh, that's a great take by Mackenzie, the number 8. She seems to be a favorite target there. Delayed pass to the outside center for Tiza. Now Nicholas coming into the line from the fullback spot. She is looking for work all night long. There's been no real threats of kicks back to her. Now stolen by the U.S. Tireless work by their front row, number 3, Abby Vogel. Oh, now here's some more promising stuff from the Eagles. Ball went back as number 8, Kyla Chipman, the captain, got to it. Captain. We had maybe a slight knock on there, or did that ball just get tied up? Unplayable ball. So the U.S. took it in, or I feel like Canada took it. The U.S. took it in, so it'll be their scrum. We hope that our front row friend there, Maya Learned, who's taken off on stretcher, will try and let you know how things are going. We have a paramedic running across the field now, probably to get something they need. So at the 20-minute mark of this game with Canada and a 5-0 lead, and you know, with the injury and everything, I think we've got to get some flow into this game. Canada pushing that scrum back, but U.S. maintaining possession. And now that's an interesting kick down the right wing. Takes a big awkward bounce for Canada, gathered in by the fullback, Nicholas. Now a clearance kick by Tessier, the fly half. That goes back. Lots of red shirts coming up to pressure the fullback, Durbin. Now that's Gabriella Cantorna, the fly half. She's tied up with the ball, pick and drive. They're going to do it the hard way. Going to the left of that breakdown. Canada making the big tackles in there. Hey, no one says you got to play it pretty. You just play the ball and keep it moving. Straight down the line. Good work now. That's by the fullback, Lily Durbin. She's really found an extra gear. They'll track her down. A duo of Canadian tacklers bring her down, but the flag stays down on that side. Nathan Ablenauer, the assistant referee, keeping a close eye on things. This is promising stuff from the USA, now 15 meters from the Canadian line. They got some numbers out wide, but they'd have to really spin that ball quick, and they're happy to keep it in, tied up in the forwards. And now long blast of the whistle, and that's Canada leaving their feet at the breakdown, I think. Quick tap by the hooker, Melu. And now Canada wasn't back 10. So Canada will go right to their goal line. That's where they should have been. Forward pass, I'm sorry. I'll make up my own rules, thank you. So it is a forward pass. We'll have a scrum. And while we have that scrum, a chance to thank some of our sponsors. DHL, the international specialists in express shipping to and from more places worldwide than anyone else, is a proud sponsor of Rugby Canada. DHL Express excellence simply delivered. Under Armour, empowering athletes everywhere. Under Armour delivers the most innovative performance apparel, footwear, and accessories. Rugby Canada would like to thank Under Armour for their ongoing support. Back to live action. Clearance kick goes off the foot of the U.S. fullback. And now, what have we got? An offside here. Some players were in front of that player with the ball. So Canada with a chance to clear their lines. Oh, and touch wasn't found, or was that a quick throw and I was just looking down? Canada gets control of that again. Now they've got some numbers. Right? They should be making a couple more passes. They had a pair of players looking for work to the left side, and including the replacement winger, Emma Jada, and she might have gone for a run there. Now Tessier trying to kick low and through the cover there. Now knockdown kick from Durbin. U.S. doing well to clean up some of those errors. That's hard work from Gianna Cruz. So U.S. doing well around their own breakdowns. And now Emma Jada trying to make that tackle, and she tracks down, puts her out of bounds, and a couple of more meters out of bounds. Jada's got to come back in, and oh, big crushing tackle from the fullback, Nicholas, and the flanker, Sarah Svoboda. And that ball's turned over right in front of our position here. Canada's got it, but they may overthink this. They just got to get that ball out. Lots of players leaving the ground. I think advantage being played. No. Natalie Lesko. She's tackled. Oh, and that came out. Nothing wrong with that, I thought. But no penalty coming in from the side or not releasing the tackled player. So USA have got to let go of that player with the ball right away, or they're going to get pinged. Lozada's established what she's looking for, and if you don't play it that way, it's going to end in tears in the form of penalties and ultimately yellow cards. Tosi overthrows at the back of the line, not straight, says Lozada. U.S. will look for their option, probably scrum in 15. With the wind and situation as it is, that's the money choice. So U.S. coming away with that, but they're wrapped up right away. The number 8, Kyla Chipman, getting knocked down for her troubles. That ball's gone Canada side now. Again with Tessier, drop ball midfield. It was Fortiza, couldn't find the handle on that one. So it'll be a scrum to the U.S. I got to say the U.S. have perked up in the last few minutes. We okay there? Yeah. So looking at some of our other sponsors, the Government of Canada, Rugby Canada would like to thank the Government of Canada for their ongoing support of rugby in Canada. Rugby Canada désire remercier le gouvernement de Canada pour son appui continué to Rugby au Canada. That's the only French you're getting out of me, unless I'm ordering in a restaurant. Pick up by Chipman. She's found a bit of a gap. Offload now. That's some good work. So U.S. really starting to test the Canadian back three, the back row rather. And now that ball just laying there, stolen by Canada. Heads up play. And now it's Emma Jada. What can she do if she turns on? Oh, a good forearm fend off. Now running through some cover and looking for a gap, and she's got to offload that. Now that's some excellent work by the replacement to Dorian Curry, the second row. So she was just desperate to find a little hole to run through. Nothing doing. It was a solid blue wall. And finally the offload, that ball going loose to Brianna Nicholas, the fullback. And I'll tell you what, I don't think I've seen her back at the fullback spot yet tonight. She's just been in the line the whole night.
Yeah, really impressed with the Canadian backs here. Emma Jada just had a great run and very lateral run after a while to get rid of the ball to oncoming Canadian player. The Americans finally getting some control of the ball in this game. For the first 15 minutes or so, they really didn't do a whole lot with it. Didn't really even get to see it. But, you know, that big break by Chipman with the great offload, it's nice to see the Americans finally coming into their own in this game. And they've been awarded a free kick penalty for the Canadian scrum. And that is number 7, Gianna Cruz, who takes the ball into contact. Number 13, Mata Higano, loses the ball in contact. Turned over by the Canadians. Fly half number 10, Alex Tessier, takes it into contact with good support. Jess Nielsen up and under, testing that the American fullback, I should say. Oh, but there's a good Canadian chase coming. And fullback Lily Durbin makes the scrambling kick for touch. And the Canadians will now have a penalty just inside the American 22.
So now another chance here for Canada. I'll get you to answer this one for me there. So the scrum is just 10 meters out from the Canadian line. Now, that's some good hands down the Canadian line. Emma Jada, she is ready to go in if she can get one more pass. Jada steps inside. Emma Jada for the try. So fantastic bit of individual running. She knew that ball was coming and she paced herself to run right onto that ball and caught the American cover flat-footed. And that is excellent work by the replacement to just step inside and finish that off with a great flourish. And she is an exciting young player to watch, Emma Jada. Brings the Canadian score to 10-0 with this conversion kick to come from Nielsen. And that was just tic-tac-toe stuff, you know. Great passing down the line, and the overload was on. Just one player extra on the outside. And Jada was like a springed coil. And she was just waiting, and then boom, she hit it into third gear, hit the nitrous, and went. Kick by Nielsen, the wind pushing it away, and you know, I think everyone's been talking about the try by Magali Harvey that's been featured on TSN every night for the last 5 nights in the 1-versus-1, and you know, Emma Jada is one of those kind of runners with the ball. I mean, very exciting with the ball in hand.
Yeah, so just smart Canadian back play. They've run it several times now. It's the Alex Tessier fake dummy run to Natalie Lesko, who's drawing in both the American centers and sometimes the fullback too, which is just creating this huge overlap for Fabiola Forteza, Brianna Nicholas, especially, who is, you know, in that case offloading Emma Jada for a great try. But if you watch, Canada's been doing that all game, and it's been working really well for them. So great, just all around great play by the Canadian backs. Good support from the forwards. They're always right there. Good take by number 12, Natalie Lesko. And taken into contact by number 8, Maddie McKenzie. Not quite knocked on. Recovered by number 6, Sasha Elliott. And there's that fake dummy run by the inside center again. Brianne Nicholas on the outside.
So now the U.S. just getting that across the halfway point, and that ball stays U.S. side. Canada's looking for it, and they've just lost the handle on it. Now going down that left wing, and that is some great stuff from the winger on that side, Ordway, Danny Ordway. I'm sorry, that was Caitlin Whiteside going down that left wing there, and no one saw that she was sneaking through there. Chance to thank another one of our sponsors. Shawnigan Lake School is a co-educational independent boarding school on Vancouver Island. Their flagship rugby program features internationally recognized coaches and first-class facilities. Back to live action here. We'll finish that in a moment. Thought we had more time to get that one out. And now, big numbers out wide. Drop ball midfield picked up by the inside center Hawkins for USA. And now, U.S. with a chance here. Mata Hingano, she's tied up, stays on her feet. Finally brought down by Tessier, the fly half. So some eager tackling here by Canada. And so now we're going to have a scrum to Canada. To find out more about Shawnigan Lake School, visit shawnigan.ca. Merritt Travels, the official travel partner of Rugby Canada. Thanks to Sue at Merritt for all her help this summer with all our trips. When you support Team Canada, travel with Merritt. Visit them at merritt.ca/Rugby Canada and follow your team around the world. So 33 minutes gone in this first half. Getting a little dark, must say. And Jess Nielsen getting that ball back to Tessier. Tessier, right-footed kick down the field. She's found a little gap in the coverage and put that into touch nicely. It'll be a U.S. throw-in, but pressure time here for Canada. Get a defensive jumper up there and see if they can make something happen. Rugby Canada is represented by one of Canada's top law firms. We'd like to thank Gallings for their ongoing support of Canadian rugby. Enterprise Canada, raising the profile of rugby in Canada. Visit enterprisecanada.com, their public relations firm. And the Canadian Rugby Foundation, supporting junior rugby in Canada through grants. Please contribute. Oh, and U.S. have come away with that in the line. Good bit of pinching the ball there. And coming away with it is the scrum half, Brianna Kim. She tries to sneak up the blind side. She's immediately wrapped up. Ball staying U.S. side, however. Tenacious work by Gianna Cruz, the flanker. She is not giving that up without a fight. U.S. still looking for it. Advantage coming. There's a penalty. So now is advantage gained there? We'd have to say yes. No, we're going to come back. So what was that penalty there for, Roden? I missed that. It was an offside by Canada. So when you have an offside, you need to have at least 10 meters of advantage gained off of that. And the kick down the field and putting you into a defensive situation immediately, not really considered advantage, to be fair. And so good job playing that and bringing it back. And the U.S. will give this a ride down the field as we creep into about 4 minutes left till halftime. This half has just flown by, despite that injury to Maya Leonard. And we'll let you know how she's doing. They're transferring her to another ambulance behind us here. It's a good thing we got Canadian health care. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, hope you got insurance. They should. Nice grab by the second row Mueller. Now coming out cleanly down the U.S. line. That's great hands by Maida Hingano. Oh, and a big Emma Jada just getting it all done. She can run with the ball. She's a cruise missile on attack for tackling. And now another penalty by Canada here. And now inside that 10-meter zone, I would have thought, or pretty close. and just setting up pods of attackers here now. The U.S. have really gotten some wind in their sails in the last few minutes. That was Chipman taking it into the line. Now that's the open side, Frida Fedu. And oh, nice step there, looking for the offload. Gets it off to her second row, Melissa Hargadine. To the Canadian 22. First real organized threat here. Now another penalty and time being called off by Lozada. And Canada could be in some trouble here because there was a number of infringements there. So that was their one free one. U.S. has had their free one, so next ones could result in some cards here. And yeah, U.S. not opting to go for posts here, or are they? No, they're calling for the scrum. So backing themselves after their play has improved in the last 10 minutes or so. The U.S. forwards saying, give us the ball, let us deal with this. This is a great position, the U.S. back line. If we pull that shot back a little bit, Maria, they're splitting their backs. And so there's going to be, you know, a quasi-attack one way or the other. It could loop around to the right. There's a lot of space up that right side. Emma Jada probably take on 2 or 3 of them before she gave up. They're going to have that one again. So we have dodged a weather bullet, I have to say. I thought we were in for some trouble here, but it seems to be clearing up now. Don't think we're going to dodge the light bullet, however. I think it's going to be pretty dark pretty soon. Camera sort of improving what the actual conditions are. U.S. now just 5 meters out. What a well-organized attack by the Americans now. Kind of bunched up on that right side. They may want to throw some backs over to the left there where they're short-handed. Now pick and drive to the left of that ruck. And I think they're just setting up, but their backs are all, you could throw a blanket over their backs down that right wing, and they fancy their chances, but there's all kinds of Canadian defense there. Oh, and that's the fly half. She's going to score, Gabriella Cantorna. She just jigged and jagged and found a way through, and maybe the confusion of all those backs in that tight area, you know, the Canadian defenders were not equal to who they were picking up to have defensive assignments. So Cantorna finding a way through there, Connor.
Yeah, that was a good sustained attack by the American team, just rolling down the field phase after phase. Canadians committing some penalties around the breakdown, so they'll be looking to clean that up as the game keeps going on. Yeah, we're hearing from the referees that it was Mackenzie Hawkins who touched down, not Gabriella Cantorna who scored the try. And number 10, Cantorna will be taking the conversion, though, whenever she gets the tee from her coach. She only has 60 seconds to take the kick, so she'll be looking to get this one on the boot as quickly as possible here. After the kick, we may be approaching halftime. Not sure if Karen Lozada is going to run a couple more plays or she's going to call it there. And the kick is just left of the posts. And there is halftime. So going into half, Canada 10, USA 5. And we will see you after the break.
It was a quick halftime, folks. We were just looking at a few bits and pieces here. And so Canada playing left to right on your field now, leading 10-5. And they want to start the second half like they started the first half, on the front foot, and just putting the U.S. under immense pressure. Natalie Lesko going into contact. So Emma Jada been a real find on the field tonight, coming on as a replacement for Deanna Foster, who had a leg injury partway through the first half. And wow, she scored a big try and making big tackles too. Great to watch that. So loose ball getting picked up by the U.S. scrum half, Brianna Kim, but she's under immense pressure. That's her hooker helping her out, Etta Melu. Now the U.S. Interested in attacking from in behind their own line. Gianna Cruz, the flanker, coming up with it. That ball's loose. Canada's gotten some hands to it. They got to use it quick now. Jess Nielsen considering a kicker, maybe going right. Now they've got some numbers out wide, and they've got to keep looking out there because they're missing some big opportunities as Tessier cuts back inside. Good work down that far right wing there to Dalika Menon, the captain, finally. They're just at the line now for Canada. And that's a try. And not sure who got that one. I think it might have been Emma Jada. No, it wasn't Jada. Maybe Curry. Dorian Curry, number 4. Or have we had a change in that second row? So Colleen Irawa getting that one, a replacement in the forwards there. So great job by Colleen to find a gap in close and fight her way through for Canada's third try now, bringing the score up to 15-5 with the conversion kick to come. So it'll be Jess Nielsen to put the extra. She's missed her first 2 kicks for conversions. This one's a lot better. Look at that one, yeah. And drops over the bar for the conversion. Brings it up to 17-5. So a great start to Canada's second half here. They just were so businesslike about getting down into the U.S. end. Be Brianna Kim to restart this for the USA. And that goes shallow, goes to 10. Now Canada trying to come up with some options here, shrugging off some American tacklers, going laterally, but now still hasn't found an option, running out of room and bundling her right into touch is Brianna Nicholas. So the offload just finding nothing but a touch line and trouble there. So line out right in front of our position here. So when we get a chance, we'll show you just a great crowd here tonight. Several hundred, maybe approaching 1,000 people. That ball staying Canada side. Nielsen cleaning it up. She gets knocked to ground for her trouble. Now the pick and drive. That's Pickett's. That ball's been stolen U.S. side. Turnover. But look at the pressure powering through, and that's Arawa who scored the try. And now Nielsen finding the fly half. Tessier. Alex Tessier finding her outside center now. Missing out on the inside center to Fortiza. Big punishing tackle put in by the Americans on that far touch line. Oh, and a quick throw in after all that, but I don't think they're going to have it. They'll bring it back. I think the line out had been established. Oh, and a stolen ball there by Canada. Loose pass now picked up by Tessier. Has it been? No, it hasn't. Now that's cleaned up by the inside center, Lesko. Sorry, that's 22. I thought it was 12. Caroline Crossley. And now a kick in behind the U.S. 22. And all kinds of pressure coming down to the pair of would-be runners for the USA. And big tackle put up by Nicholas, the fullback. And now that ball's been knocked on. So don't forget, folks, if you have a chance to check out the second half of this doubleheader, it'll be taking place this Saturday, 7 o'clock start at Norm Perry Park in Sarnia. And you can go to the events.rugbycanada.ca website, find out all the details about buying tickets and where Norm Perry Park is and all that kind of good stuff. It's a great facility under the lights. It'll be we're ready for prime time there, Connor. We're going to have a show there. Game being produced by Cogeco Cable and Cogeco rather. We'll be streaming that as well. So bringing you all the action and multi-camera production that night. So good stuff there. We thank them for their help. Great to get out of the GTA and see what's beyond the big mean streets of Toronto and come out to the beautiful open skies of southwestern Ontario here. Big scrum by Canada. Nielsen now gets that to Tessier. Tessier on the near fake switch. Now she's getting hemmed in a little bit. She might be getting isolated. Oh, that ball spilled forward. U.S. have got a chance to do something with it, but they'll have a scrum at least if they can't make anything happen. So no advantage gain. They've actually gone back quite a few meters. Will they come back for the scrum ultimately? Oh, that ball bouncing around and big pressure coming on. Oh, and oh, that's got to be considered blocking almost there. Canadian player getting in the way. Nicholas now nearly finding the lane, but that's a good mismatch and taken on by the hooker, Etta Melu. She didn't even flinch and took on the fullback, Nicholas, but Emma Jada maybe, perhaps by mistake, just stepped in and maybe blocked a potential U.S. tackler there. But Lozada wasn't in a position to see it, nor were the assistant referees as they were sort of getting up ahead of the play. Not straight into the U.S. line. What will Canada have? We're guessing scrum in 15. So great conditions now. No wind to speak of. So, Coach Connor McGee, what are you calling on this one, for this play?
Well, I mean, Canada should just run what they've been running all day. Oh, we've got some subs here. Number 4, Dorian Khoury is coming off, as well as number 7, Sarah Svoboda. And coming on, we'll wait till we see some numbers or hear from the referees. And it is number 19, Lauren Agnew, and number 18, Camille Provençal Abe. So Canadian scrum, nice and close. Looks like they've got Emma Jada lined up here. Maybe that's going to be an inside ball. But the Canadian scrum's been strong. Of course, now that I've said that. Oh, but they will get the penalty. And they're deciding to take it quickly, catching the Americans on their back foot. And there's the ball to number 3, Dalika Meenan, who touches down for the try. Canada's 4th try of the game. And just a real heads-up play there by number 9, Jess Nielsen, to run that quickly. A lot of the Americans had their backs turned walking back to their goal line. And they were really punished for it just there.
So, interesting. I think Canada's not overthinking things. Hey, we're 12 meters out. Let's take the shortest route possible, and let's bang across the line with our big players. And even though that's Canada's 4th try, important to note, bonus tries and things like that don't count in this 2-game competition. It's just straight points. So the U.S., whether they think they can win this or not, I think they're still in with a shot, but they've got to keep the score close, because they're going to have the difference in this score on the score line starting in Saturday's game as well. You don't want to start down a whole bunch for that next game. So the score right now is 22-5. With this kick to come, would make it 24-5, and that has just gone wide. So 22-5, your score there, Maddie, in the truck, and 10 minutes gone in this second half, and yeah, I like the calmness that Canada's playing with too. They're not at panic stations. They look around, consider their options. They've had heaps of numbers outside that they haven't even used yet. You know, maybe the one knock I would put against Tessier is she steps back inside a little bit when she's got 3 or 4 people on the outside waiting for ball. Brianna Kim now to restart this for the USA. She wants to get a bit of a high ball and get her forwards underneath that and see if they can get some possession here, because and that's not the way to do it. You scrum center for Canada, and that's usually when you can afford at least those kicks come in the form of a clanger like that, and you've now given Canada the scrum center. It's been great bringing you all kinds of streaming action all summer long. We brought you the National Women's League tournament in its entirety. We brought you all the action from, Canadian Rugby Championship under 19 variety out in St. John's. And then we're at Calgary bringing you all the action from Field 1 for 6 days of play there, 5 days anyway. And now bringing this U20 tournament. Still to come, America's Rugby Championship, involving Uruguay, Argentina, USA, and Canada, taking place in Victoria. Go to events.rugbycanada.ca. Click on the link. Find out how you can get your tickets for that. The newly expanded Center of Excellence and City. What's the name of the pitch there? Is West Hill Stadium. Emma Jada now with the ball. What can she do? One to beat. Oh, and just like that, she's gone through for her 2nd try of the night. Emma Jada putting on a clinic tonight and how to run with a rugby ball. Great job by a young lady coming in as a replacement in the first half and showing why she should be starting there now. And the coaches have got to be thrilled with Jada. She's just laughing and having the time of her life. And she had one U.S. player to beat and just kind of said, well, I've got another gear, I think, and stepped on the gas and finished it off and brought it around so that her kicker has got an easy kick as well. And that'll always get you an extra muffin at the table the next day for that. So Canada well in control here at 27-5 with this conversion to come. And, the U.S. really showing signs of life there late in that first half against Canada. And now they've kind of just gone off the boil, haven't been able to touch the ball other than restarts, honestly. Oh, and even out front, she's having a bit of a trouble there. So the score will stay 27-5. 15 minutes gone in the second half. So the local organizers have done a great job getting fans out to this game here on a Wednesday night in Southern Ontario. I don't think you could fit too many people more along this touchline here. Now stepping into the line, Canada looking for more. And I bet you Emma Jada is looking for more as she comes pelting down like a track star down that right wing. Let's see if she's going to make a big tackle now. Yes, she is, and look at that. She just wraps up number 22 for the USA, Ashley Burge, and they try and steal that ball to break down. U.S. getting their numbers, but now not rolling away at the breakdown. U.S. have been pinged, and boy, she is a fun girl to watch. Emma Jada, number 23, scored 2 tries now, 1 in each half, and she can make the tackles as well. So. And that's really what these under 20 contests are about, is finding the next stars that can blend into what is arguably, well, the number 2 team in the world, Canada, at the senior level. So you've got to get those players ready for that next level. Tessier finding that loose pass. And now Nicholas into the line again. 2-player overlap out there. That pass finally finds its target, Caroline Crossley. U.S. come across, snap that up, and now they've stolen that ball. And now just the problems that have been dogging the U.S. all night. They're in the second half here. They've just got no phase play being strung together. It's a couple of passes and a knock-on, you know, and they made a conscientious decision not to kick it. Maybe they could have, but they wanted to keep that ball in hand. Instead, it goes to ground, and they have to deal with another Canada scrum in behind the 22. What hashtag we running with tonight? On Can-Am is your hashtag if you're following us on Twitter and you want to talk about the game, watching the stream at the same time. Throw us your comments, how you're enjoying this coverage of the Can-Am U20 game here, Canada USA, with Canada on a 27-5 lead over the visitors. And there's going to be another try here for Canada. Surely that's number 20, Katie Svoboda. And has she gotten the ball down? And now chirp of the whistle. And I think Lozada wants to have a word with Amy Murray. A little help with the assistant referee. And try given. And that is Katie Svoboda, the other pair of the Svoboda twins out on the field. Spectacular players. Did great for Ontario as Ontario took the National Women's League final. So I think the toughest job here tonight is the scoreboard person. They've been busy on the Canadian side of the board there as the score goes up to 32-5 with the kick to come. And is it Steele Nielsen, or have they switched kickers out here? I'm trying to see all the way over there. Maybe get a shot of some of the crowd here, Maria, down the left side or right side before the kick comes off. Great bunch of people here at London Rugby Club tonight. 32-5 here with this kick from Nielsen. Let's not miss the kick here. Oh, we're going to miss the kick. Sorry about that. And flags stay down, so it'll stay 32-5. So into the last quarter here, almost 18 minutes gone in this game in the second half. So 58 minutes gone. And U.S. have got to try and shake something up, and maybe it's just a deep restart and sending a bunch of players down and try and knock that ball loose, but that hasn't been working on the restart so far in the second half. They've got to do something dramatic here. Counter kick now. It bounces, picked up by the fullback Durbin. Now she looks to her left, loose pass, picked up again by the U.S. and they've got numbers back there, but they're just looking a bit disorganized in terms of passing and what they're going to do next. Here's a chance. Emma Jada, no thank you. She's not going to let anyone through there. She flings the U.S. 22 Ashley Burge into touch. And now the flag is up on this side, Nathan Ablenauer. And it'll be a line out for Canada. Throwing for Canada, number 17, Corinne Riley. Quick ball out of the line. Good job by Nielsen to Tessier. Now it's Nicholas. She's playing, it looks like she's playing inside center, but she's dropped that ball. So it'll be a scrum for the USA. This is really a first up chance for the Americans here with a scrum just inside their own half.
Yeah, so good to see all that Canadian pressure really paying off on the scoreboard. Their past couple attacks have really paid out. They've been using good space out wide. They've got Brianna Nicholas now playing at outside center. And I think that's Steph Black now at fullback. So shaking things up. They've put the subs in now, preparing for next game in on Saturday in Sarnia. But still getting the job done. A lot of talent on this Canadian team, and it's good to see that they have a lot of depth outside of the starting 15. So the Americans now pushing and taken to ground by number 19, turned over by number 3, Delica Meenan. And she's had a great game. The try scorer earlier in that quick tap by Justin Nielsen. Nielsen looking for the offload, can't find it. Good support from the Canadian forwards, always in good numbers at the breakdown, preserving that ball, finding that offload. And here comes the American counter rug. But they can't turn the ball over. Taken in by number 8, Maddie McKenzie. And now Canada starts to spread out. Tessier takes it back inside. Finds the offload to number 17, Corinne Riley. And now Canada's got wide numbers and are choosing to use it. Tessier with the ball. Skips. Scoop by Nicholas, who catches it on the bounce. Offloads to Steph Black, who finds the winger number 22, Carolyn Crossley, and she'll be brought down just outside the try line. Steph Black with the ball, taken into contact. Offloads to number 12, Lesko, and she will touch down for Canada's 7th try of the game. Good crowd here at the London St. George's Rugby Football Club. Rugby Canada selling some merch. They've got a good barbecue going here and a beer tent. The rain is finally starting to fall. We thought we had dodged it and had dodged it for the first 60 minutes or so, but now it comes as all the umbrellas pop up throughout the stands. And for those of you watching the stream, we're just reorganizing the camera, covering it up so that it's waterproof. Be interesting to see if the Canadian backs can continue their slick play now with this rain coming in. They've been really consistent so far. The big skip balls from Tessier, often finding their desired receiver. Umbrella's proving to be a little bit of a problem for our camera. We'll see if we can get that sorted out for you. Score is now 39-5 for those of you watching. As Canada does get the conversion on that one, their second conversion of the day. And number 9, American player Brianna Kim kicks us off to continue the action. Oh, great break. Slicing through defenders is Lesko. She finds number 20, Katie Svoboda, in contact for the offload. Fiercely counter ruck, but again, that consistent Canadian forward pack, getting there every time and maintaining ball. Number 6, Sasha Elliott, taking it into contact. And Jess Nielsen fighting for the ball, and that's been counter-rucked by the Americans and turned over. Number 20, Hedvig Carlson, taken into contact strongly and pushed back by the Canadian forward pack. And here comes number 9, Kim, again, taken down by Tessier and turned over. Brianna Nicholas with the quick break, slicing through the American defenders right through the middle for the try. What a game she's had. She has been all over the pitch, making her tackles, catching those high balls, and more importantly, all over the field offensively. She's been involved in every play. I'm sure Emma Jada could give out some recognition to Brianna Nicholas for a whole bunch of her tries. And that is Canada's 8th try of the game. Jess Nielsen lining up for her 8th kick at the posts. 2 for 7 so far, so this one right in the middle hopefully will be a little bit easier. A lot of Canada's tries have been scored in the corner, so haven't really been doing their kicker any favors, though she has hit a few. Calm, cool, and collected. Jess Nielsen slots that one right through the posts. And we are now at 46-5 for the Canadian women. Well, the Americans had a good rolling offense for a while there. But unfortunately, a lot of their offense didn't result in points on the board, and now Canada's running away with it a little bit here. A great deep kick by Tessier. She's been really dangerous with that boot of hers, and there's that Canadian support right there pressuring the American attackers. The ball's getting a little bit slippery out there with this new rain, as we just saw as Lily Durbin knocked the ball on just outside the 22, and it'll be a Canadian scrum. Thank you for the close-up, Doug. All the fans at home get something to look at. Great pick by number 8, Maddie McKenzie. But the ball is just lost, still inbounds. Hard to see over all these umbrellas. But Americans now with the ball. Kim distributes, finds her receiver. Huge hit by Menon. Proving that she's much more than just a try scorer, laying down some hits too. And the ball goes out of bounds just at the halfway line. That'll be a Canadian line out. Fancy footwork by AR Nathan Abdelnauer there, flicking the ball into his hand. Good line out by Team Canada. Tessier with the ball. Lesko. Boy, has she had a great game. Drawing in American defenders all over the place. Ooh, and a blocked kick. And a penalty for the American team. Diving over the call. Takes that penalty quickly is number 12, Mackenzie Hawkins. Canada, though, not back 10 and will be penalized again. United States choosing not to take the points and will instead run it. And this is number 9, Kim. Oh, that slippery ball not helping the American team here. but they maintain possession. Number 16, Hope Wasserman takes it in. Fierce Canadian tackling going on here. You can see the hesitation by the American team, but the Canadians get called for offside. Number 9, Kim, yelling to her forwards. Gets a good ball too. Number 8, Kyla Chipman, one of the standout players on this American team. Chipman has had a great game all over the field. That slippery ball still not helping the American team as they knock forward. It'll be a Canadian scrum just outside the 22. Coach Sandro Fiorino must be happy with the Canadian scrum. They've been maintaining their own ball and really dominating the American pack. Tessier has her backs lined up left. The American backs choosing to not quite follow suit on defense. And that's Nicholas with the ball now. She's got pace. Splits between. Finds Jada in the offload. Jada has pace. We've seen her do this before. And the step can't quite beat number 15, but still moving forward. And she's dragged out of bounds by number 15, Lily Durbin. But that always dangerous Nicholas-Jada combo, again, punishing the American defenders, nearly scoring another try and charging more than halfway down the field before finally being stopped. American line out inside their 22. We'll be looking to get this out, but instead give it into a forward. Taken down by number 18, Camille Provençal. Ooh, a blocked kick. The ball still hovering around within the end zone and touched down by American number 22, Ashley Berg. 22-meter dropout for the Eagles. Opting to take it quickly, and that will go out of bounds just past half. We're at the 30-minute mark in the second half, so just under 10 minutes to go. Canada winning their line out. Nelson finding the ball and giving to number 18. This is Tessier again. Finds Lesko. Canadian backs still running some sophisticated set plays despite the sloppy weather. And the Americans have turned it over. This is Kim. Wet ball slipping out of the hands of outside center Mata Higano. Sliding ball. And that Canadian counter ruck is powerful against the American forwards. Canadians haven't quite turned it over, and that's Kim distributing to number 16, Hope Wasserman, but she knocks on in the slippery conditions here. Canadian number 5, Alexandra Ellis, is down as her teammates help her stretch out that stiff leg. Well, the Canadian coaches must be happy with the performance of their team. They've been really crisp on a lot of the set plays and consistent. Their forward pack is always at the breakdown, maintaining that ball. Great venue here at the London St. George's Rugby Football Club. A great crowd out watching the game. Very social despite the rain, although it might have stopped, at least for now, as multiple players on the field getting stretched out by their strength and conditioning teams. And Lazada blows her whistle to resume play. Canadian scrum now on the 10-meter line, just inside the American half. Only about just over 5 minutes to go in this first game in the U20 Can-Am series. Americans wheeling that scrum very successfully. Good to see that despite being down 41 points, the American enthusiasm hasn't left them yet. And I'm sure they'll be looking to get on the board again before the final whistle blows. Kim scrambling to find that ball after the collapsed scrum, but that is going to be a penalty against the American team. Lazada says no to Nelson, trying to take the quick penalty, and she will now find touch with this kick. And does so quite successfully just inside the American 22-meter line. Good attacking position here for the Canadians, a line out within the 22. Their backs will be looking to capitalize, as they have been all day, on this opportunity. And Tessier pushes it wide to Lesko. Lesko looping to Tessier. Out to wide to Brianne Nicholas. Nicholas finding Steph Black and Emma Jada. Oh, ball just slips through her hands and goes out of bounds on the far side. Consistently dangerous Canadian attack, but unfortunately goes out of bounds this time. American line out now, taken by number 16, Wasserman. And stolen by the Canadians. Not their first stolen line out of the day either. They've been turning over ball all over the place. And this is Nicholas again with a good sidestep, looking to offload the ball in contact. Can't find any support. And the ball was knocked forward. Rainy conditions to blame. Well, there's a U.S. player down, and while we should take this break to say what a different second half for the Eagles. I'm sure this is not what their coach was hoping for to follow the break. American scrum now inside their own 22. Won by the Americans. Oh, turned over by the Canadians though, as the Canadians are now on offense once again. That is number 8, Maddie McKenzie, taking into contact. And another big take by the Canadian pack as they score another try. Number 5, Alexandra Ellis scoring that one. And that is Canada's 9th try of the game. Sending a clear message that Canada is here to compete in this Can-Am series. Nelson lining up her 9th attempt at goal. She's 3 for 8 so far. Nielsen, Jess Nielsen. Has a look at the posts. And the boot of Jess Nielsen. just short, and that is the final. 51-5 from London St. George's Rugby Football Club. Canada U20 Women beating the American U20 Women in the first game of this 2-game Can-Am series. Next game coming to you on Saturday at 7 o'clock in Sarnia. Be sure to check rugbycanada.ca for more details about that.
Final score, Canada 51, USA 5.
Well, I'm sure the Canadian coaches will be happy with that performance. And the American coaches, I'm sure, will have some things to go over in training this week in anticipation of Saturday's game. Are we done? All right, thank you for tuning in. From London St. George's Rugby Football Club, this is Connor McGee reporting for Rugby Canada alongside Doug Cross, and we will see you next time.